Hello, my name is Tim Brophy. I'm the Director of Institutional Assessment, and this is our 2015-16 Academic Assessment Planning Process Update. Now, the purpose of this talk is to first describe what's new for 2015-16, and then to give you some instructions for submitting and revising your academic assessment plans for 2015-16, and then share with you what institutional resources are available for this process. The first thing that's new for 2015-16 is that we've added the program goals to the academic assessment plan itself. Now, they've always been in Compliance Assist, but they've never really been part of the academic assessment plan. We've been focusing only on the SLOs in those plans. Well, for 2015-16, we're adding those into the plan and asking you to revise those annually as well. To help you with this process, we have a new guide for developing program goals and student learning outcomes. And also, we're going to ask this year that the curriculum maps, assessment timelines, sample rubrics, assessment cycles, etc. be attached to the plan rather than embedded directly into the windows in Compliance Assist. We have learned over the last few years that when we enter grids and graphs into Compliance Assist and tables, we get some very odd formatting. So this will help us avoid that and make it much cleaner, as well as easier for us to edit in the future. So how do you get to your assessment plan? Well, here's how you do it. The first thing you do is log into Compliance Assist, and there you see the website, and you'll get this screen. And when that screen appears, look for the available websites on the left, and you'll click on Planning. That will take you to this page. And at the top of that page, you're going to click something called My Dashboard. When you click that page, you'll move then to this page where you'll see the Edit Filter sign, and you're going to Edit Filter and select FY 2015-16 from the fiscal year drop-down list, and then you'll click OK. And when you get to the dashboard for yourself, you're going to see at the top of this a tab called Assessment Plans. You're going to click on that, and then you'll see a unit list that appears in the left-hand column. So to find your program in this unit list, you're going to, first of all, click the plus sign to open up Academic Affairs. Then you'll find your college, and you'll open that up. And then in your college, you'll also find your programs and certificates. And we've selected, for example, below the Agricultural Operations Management program as an example. So when you select that, you'll find the program mission, the 2014-15 program goals, or PGs as we shorten them to be, the 2014-15 student learning outcomes, or SLOs, and the academic assessment plan, or AAP, what we call the detail. And all of this has been rolled over from 2014-15 into 2015-16 for you to edit. Now, how do you edit your plan? Well, here's how you do it. First of all, you want to look at your mission, okay? You want to open up the mission link, okay? If you've modified it, click on the Edit tab and then modify it, then save and close it. That will save it. If you haven't modified your mission, then you don't need to do anything to this particular field. However, I would like to remind you that the university's mission modified slightly in 2013-14, and you may want to look at that before you I should say to make sure that you don't want to make any changes in your mission. Now, when we get to program goals, we have to be sure that every program, including certificates, have at least one program goal. What you do is you open up each goal, you click the Edit tab, which you see here, okay? Then you revise the program goal as needed. Now, you must update the number of the program, and that would be, instead of being 2014-15 program goal 1 or PG1, it would be 2015-16, and you have to hand edit that in order to do it. Okay. For student learning outcomes, again, it's the same basic process. You simply open up each outcome, click the Edit tab, and you're going to, first of all, edit the number of the SLO from 2014-15 to 2015-16. Now, there is an approval process involved in changing or modifying outcomes for 2015-16. You have to really complete the appropriate change form at the approval.ufl.edu site, which is linked here, and submit the forms by April 7th, and there is a series of steps to go through, and we'll go through this a little more detail later. But if you don't change any outcomes by April 7th or get the forms into us by April 7th, they won't be published in the 2015-16 catalog, and we want the catalog to be updated. Now, academic assessment plans are due the fourth Friday in February, and we encourage all of you to submit any approval requests for SLO modification reviews at the time you submit your academic assessment plan so that it is ensured that we're able to get all of these modified and changed. Now, once you submit the approval form request, the Academic Assessment Committee reviews them, and when they're approved, you'll be notified so you can update your plans. But what we do in institutional assessment, we are the ones who notify the catalog editor. You do not need to do that. We do that. Now, the academic assessment plan detail simply means that there is an online form that contains these components as editable windows. And we're going to ask you again, remember, to attach the files that contain any matrices, charts, grids. Don't enter them into the windows anymore. All right, so all academic assessment plans must have a cycle, a sample rubric, and an assessment oversight list where we are able to see the name and contact information for the people we need to talk to if there's a question about the assessment plan. Now, the professional and graduate academic assessment plans include a special section on the research, expectations of the students, and also measurement tools and an assessment timeline. And the undergraduate academic assessment plans include a curriculum map and methods and procedures. And all of these different components of the plans are described in the resource that's available on the Academic Assessment Plan website. Now, when we get to the academic assessment plan detail, you're going to open the detail link, okay? And you see it, I've highlighted it here for this particular degree program. And when you do so, it will open up this type of a window. If you're developing a new plan for 2015-16, you have to open that new item box and select each appropriate new item that you're going to be doing, because when you do that, it opens up a blank form and you simply complete the fields and save your information. Remember that program goals are needed for all programs, including certificates. Then you're going to complete and submit the appropriate SLO ALC forms, again, at the same place where I shared with you a moment ago. Okay, and follow the instructions. Now, when you're editing fields in the Academic Assessment Plan Details section, you first have to click on the Edit tab. If you don't see the Edit tab in your window, just slide the field to the right because it will come into view. Sometimes it's hidden because of where the particular detail opens up. Okay, again, editing here, for the progress, we have to have you enter a progress field. Almost always, this will be ongoing. It applies to all of the academic assessment plan detail forms, and you simply click Save at the bottom of the page. There's Save at the bottom of the page. All right, and then when you're continuing to edit fields, when the responsible role, open the Manage drop-down box. Okay, and when you open that box, you're going to browse the available roles. All right, and then to find the title and the name of the person who is responsible for the plan in that list of available roles. Now, there are lots of names here, multiple pages. So if the individual name or the role is incorrect or missing, you need to contact Cheryl Gator at the email address here. I think most of you probably know her email already or have it at least in your email frequent list. So, or people you email frequently list. Sorry, I'm stumbling around a bit. Anyway, when you select the individual, okay, you'll see the drop-down list here. You select that individual, and then you will click Add Selected. All right, and then you will see a Selected Roles window, and then select that individual again, and then click Add Role, and then their role and their name will appear in the responsible role window. It is critical that all of the academic assessment plans have a responsible role listed, because we will be sending back a request for this information if you do not do it. Okay, there's the Add Roles button. It's very important that you do that. Again, this is the person we should contact if there are any questions regarding your plan. Now, next click on the Edit button to open the windows that you wish to edit when you're in the AP detail. So, excuse me, here's a sample where the Edit button is located. You have to look for it because it's not readily apparent. So it's on the upper left side of each of the window boxes where you're entering text. And then when you're finished editing, just click on Update, and the field will update the field with the new information. And you have to do this with each field that you edit. Remember, Update does not save the information. That step's going to come later. Here's the Update button. So once you've finished editing and you open up that edit window and you finish doing all of that, click the Update, and then it will say it will keep that updated information there. If you need instructions on it when you're in edit mode, they're pretty easy to find. You simply have to hover over that information icon, and here's a sample of where that's located. Again, it's that little eye inside the, looks like a little text balloon. All right, and then you will see the sample of the instructions that pops up. We've given you a sample here. So basically all you have to do is look at that or hover over that, and you'll get the information that reminds you what goes in that box. Now, closing out and saving changes is a really critical piece of this because it's very frustrating to get to the end of this process and forget this step and everything is lost and you have to do it all over again. You want to avoid that if you can. So be sure that you click the Academic Entry Complete box at the end and then Save and Close. See that Academic Assessment Plan Entry Complete box? We've tried to make this bigger, but we just can't. So you're going to have to look at it. All right, look for it. It's down there. It's tiny, but it is there. All right, and then you see the Save and Close, not just save, but Save and Close. And that will make sure that the system records your new entries. So here's a little checklist of what we've talked about. You have to make sure that your program goals are included this year for every program, at least one for every program. Then you be sure to update the number fields of both the programs and SLOs with 2015-16. Now, if you have an existing plan, when you edit the detail for 2015-16, make sure that you save and close. For new plans, you have to complete all of the new appropriate components for your type of plan. Then you're going to check that completed box at the bottom of the academic assessment plan detail, and again in capital bold letters, save and close. Okay? If you have modified your current ALC or Academic Learning Compact for undergraduate programs, or your student learning outcomes for all programs for 2015-16, or if you've entered a new plan, you have to submit these at the web address that is located here, and you go to the ALC-AAP tab on that website and follow the instructions. They're very clear. Finally, you'll be notified when the Academic Assessment Committee approves any changes to your ALCs, SLOs, and then you can enter your changes into the Compliance Assist AP detail page. Now, what are the resources we have for 2015-16? Well, we have updated our page, and now we have one page that encompasses all of our planning resources for 2015-16. So when you go to the assessment.aa.ufl.edu/academic-assessment webpage, you'll see all of that information there. If you need further assistance, don't hesitate to email us or call Institutional Assessment at 273-1090. We look forward to hearing from you and to working with you again for another successful academic year. Thank you and goodbye.